Dean Curry, it gives me great pleasure to present the 2018 graduates of the School of Architecture at the University of Southern California.
Thank you, Professor Page. Everyone, please be seated. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I'm Milton Curry. I'm the Dean of the school, and it's my great honor to welcome graduating students, parents, family, friends, and honored guests to the commencement ceremony of the School of Architecture at the University of Southern California. I'd like to start by introducing the faculty of the School of Architecture. Their skill and expertise sets an all-encompassing standard of excellence for our students. Will our outstanding faculty please rise and be recognized? The School of Architecture has two important bodies that assist the school in meeting the demands for excellence in teaching, research and creative work, and professional development: the Board of Counselors and the Architectural Guild. For 60 years, the USC Architectural Guild has been supporting the educational mission of the school through the dedication of alumni and supporters across the design-build industry. I am thankful for their assistance with career and professional development and their overall support for the school. Please give it up for the current Guild President, Steve Lucetta. Likewise, the school's Board of Counselors, part of a university-wide network of thought leaders and donors who assist the dean and senior leadership in defining the school's continuum of excellence, continues to have positive impact in resourcing the school and connecting students and faculty to their extensive networks. Please give it up for Board of Counselors co-chair Chris Martin. Additionally, I would like to recognize the people who keep the school running and provide the necessary support and mentorship for students, faculty, and leadership. The amazing School of Architecture staff, please stand and be recognized. Now, I prepared a 2-hour speech, so get very comfortable. Just kidding. I'll be pretty brief because we have some amazing speakers coming behind me. Graduating students, family, and friends, this is an important occasion, not only for those of us who are here today, but for this great institution. Collectively, this annual ritual affirms the ideals of the university and the values of USC and the School of Architecture, that a world-class education be within reach of everyone, no matter their race, creed, class, sexual orientation or gender identity, national origin, or citizenship status. Under assault and embattled in popular media, the university is our best hope for thoughtful and evidence-based dialogue, creative freedom, and an open platform for artistic expression, and a place where strangers become lifelong friends. Architects provide a blueprint for creative experiences. USC Architecture, an architecture school with a legacy of design excellence, innovation, and entrepreneurial initiative, educates architects and design professionals who go on to become leaders. Since its establishment in 1919, the school has been a place for individual invention and has graduated architects whose eclectic way of thinking and groundbreaking personal narratives symbolize the school's rigorous yet pluralistic pedagogies. People like Frank Gehry and Tom Main, two Pritzker Prize winners, Paul Williams, the first Black American to be licensed west of the Mississippi, and the case study architects of the 1950s who transformed the residential landscape of Southern California with experiments in modern housing. Today, We are answering the call for leadership in a discipline that is at the center of so many cultural and social dimensions of human life by placing architecture thinking and the democratic role of the university at the center of civic and cultural discourse on what kind of world we want to create. Making architecture a human right by insisting on an unflinching commitment to the design of the world we aspire to live in and live for elevates the role of architecture within the intellectual project of producing culture. In just my first year as dean of this school, I too am a graduate of sorts of my freshman year as dean. So what did I learn in my freshman year that has helped me understand the challenges that our students face and the opportunities that await them upon graduation? First, I learned that 18% of our freshmen are first generation to go to college. I learned that our freshmen and upperclassmen are socially minded and articulate their passions through their work. And I learned that our students, like so many across the country, stay up way too late working on their design projects at the expense of other courses. But seriously, the most important thing that I learned is that our students have a lot to teach us about their backgrounds, their aspirations, their passions, and their ideas. Our job, collectively, is to translate our collective expertise into a collaboration to seek innovative insights into questions of urbanization, global inequality, mass incarceration, homelessness and affordable housing, environmental and rural poverty. Yes, through the lens of an architect, landscape architect, urban designer, heritage conservationist, and building scientist. As the writer T.S. Eliot once said, if you're not in over your head, how do you know how tall you are? Graduates, keep setting your sights high, even on goals that at first seem out of touch, out of reach. It's in that moment of reaching, of the struggle to achieve your goals, that you will discover what you're really made of, and you'll discover how tall you really are and how much you have to contribute to the common good. Class of 2018, congratulations. Each year, the graduating students elect one of their classmates to represent them at commencement and present some remarks to this assembly. This year, undergraduate student Po Shrang Lau was selected for this honor. Po, please come forward.
All right. Hi, congratulations, first of all. My name is Po. Well, my name is Po Shrang Lau. Half of the people at USC know me by Po, and half know me by Shrang. In no way in my life did I imagine of ever standing up here, represent the best and most troublesome class that USC architecture has ever encountered. You may know us by the class of 2018, but I call ourselves the Bundaroos. Many of us still do not know exactly what it means or where it came from. However, in many ways, I relate this term to the word bundle. In this case, it represents the idea of the collectives of creative minds, the collectives of strong individuals, the collectives of diverse perspective that came across the globe to be in this one place, Watt Hall. We were strangers on day one, but we became best friends on day two. Because going on a coffee run at 3 a.m. is how you meet your best friends. Parents and family, all-nighters are actually a part of the assignment. I'm kidding, but really. They should add all-nighter expected estimation as part of the syllabus. To further represent the spirit and personality of this class, I want to tell you a story. a story that I believe we all have encountered in one way or another. It is a story of the obligation that we took up naturally as classmates as we were going through this journey. It is a story that the support structure that we as architecture students have developed to ensure our success in achieving and finishing the School of Architecture and becoming the next generation of architects. It was 2 a.m. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning in the spring of 2015. A friend of mine who was sitting among us and I were walking home. He wanted to skip an 8 a.m. class. He wanted to skip an 8 a.m. class the next day. I'd stop him, and my optimistic and idealistic mentality kicked in. And I said, bro, don't skip class tomorrow. We're going to be the next generation of architects. We're going to change the world. We're going to make massive impact on the built environment, and we will influence so many lives. But first, we need to go to class in order to do that. The next day at 8:15, my friend called me as I was still in bed. And he said, where's everyone? I'm the only one here. And I responded, didn't you check your email? Class is canceled. This same friend, along with other close friends of mine, have always supported each other throughout the ups and downs during our time here. They're the one who pinned up my presentation boards as I overslept and missed my review. My professor would ask, Shrang, why in the hell did you pin up and not show up to your presentation? I wouldn't know what to tell them because it was my friends who went out their way to pin up my boards. Today, I'm sure that each one of us have those friends, the ones who always will be there for you during the great times and the worst times, together through the journey of what many call architecture. However, I call this journey that we took together a pursuit of passion, and that passion is architecture. We survived the dungeon in the first year. Parents, at the studio with the pink door when you first visited in the basement. We survived one-to-one scale prototype and material experimentation in the second year. We survived Cala on the first street bridge in third year, coordinated by Alvin Hong. Thank you. We survived Topic Studio that challenged real-world issues such as homelessness. And for some of us, throwing ourselves in a totally foreign culture in study abroad program in fourth year. We survived heavy timber in the fifth year. They asked us for wood building, but we gave them steel. And of course, we survived thesis. On top of everything, we survived meeting unbelievable deadlines in one day. Time management, check. Parents, if your kids aren't meeting your deadlines, then they're probably doing it on purpose, so you can use that against us. Beyond the studio insanity and technological failures, we have learned to work around things that are broken. Some of us may have cried a few times. Some of us may have punched a few walls. And some of us may have developed really unique war cries. But somehow we always finish on time. We learn from the professors and their unique qualities and what they have to offer. And in return, we mature from being once a freshman to determined, sophisticated, and talented individuals who are ready to face all the challenges that this world has for us. Bundaroos, please give your parents the biggest hugs and kisses because they are your #1 fans, even though they have not a clue what we do in school. Obama. Thank you, Mom and Dad, sis. Thank you, Professor, who have had great impacts on all of us. Thank you, staff and faculty, for always putting more and more restrictions on us each year. That actually made us more creative. Thank you, custodian. They're so well trained in architecture that they know the difference between a bad model and garbage. Thank Thank you, TG Express, Starbucks, Coffee Bean. At last, I am honored and grateful to have met all of you during my journey here. It was the best 5 years of my life, and our friendships are forever bonded. Regardless of where you'll be, what you'll end up doing, I can positively say that you'll be great at it. I hope that this world is ready for the class of 2018, also known as the Bundaroos, because we will change this world from the smallest scale to the largest scale in positive and meaningful ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Poe. Thank you. That was great. Now to the graduate student who has been selected by their classmates to speak at this assembly. Graduate student Nicholas George Mcmillan was selected by his peers. Nicholas, will you please come forward?
An architectural background and hasn't experienced the ups and downs it can bring. Explaining what happens inside the walls of an architecture building. Explaining what studio is. Explaining the feeling when you haven't slept for 3 days. What in the world a review actually is. Why you're just going home at 7 a.m. Why you're eating dinner at 2 a.m. And why there's some random person asleep at their desk. But here's a snippet of just some of the things, words, and phrases that have made up our past 1, 2, or 3 years here. Coffee, Maxicure, Grubhub, not responding, spackle, insufficient funds, plotting, lift to correct skew, blue tape, make 2D, cash only, 24 by 36, 11 by 17, laser cutting, X-Acto, cannot connect to Wi-Fi, breakfast burritos, 3D printing, autosave, Starbucks, Control-Z, Windows Update, Live Paint, Happy Taco, Curve Boolean, Make Printable, Tradies, Force Quit, Storage Full, Bad Meshes, no faces were made. Rhino, Grasshopper, Meyer, Revit, Dynamo. So if you're still following through all of this, then you could only be an architect. We have come to learn that architecture is weird, peculiar, hard, and tiring. It's pedagogical, and it's disciplinary. In the words of the late and great architect Zaha Hadid, architecture is unnecessarily difficult. And she's right. Only we may truly understand and comprehend what happened inside these walls over these past years. So we now reach an exciting point of departure, ready to diverge on different paths far and wide, to many great and amazing achievements. And although we move on, we'll be forever linked with a common foundation and can take great pride in what we have achieved together. Everything we have accomplished is only just the beginning of our success. I can't wait to see the next chapter in our stories and where we all will be in 10, 20, and 30 years' time. So, to my fellow graduates, don't stop working, don't stop striving. The work ethic and perseverance developed inside the walls of Watt Hall will no doubt carry us far into the future. It's time for us to fly the coop and make our mark on the world. The world needs more creative minds like us. So thank you for pushing me, inspiring me, and making it a truly incredible ride. Our time as students is ending, but our time as colleagues is only just beginning. Congratulations, and fight on. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. And just for the record, I think all the things that he mentioned are legal. I think so, yeah. I wasn't taking notes, but. Graduating with honors from the School of Architecture is, I believe, more difficult perhaps than in any other discipline. In artistic production, there is no right answer. And the search for that answer, nonetheless, often keeps our students up late at night. Achieving excellence in the architecture and design disciplines requires extreme discipline. Students receiving honors at the highest levels are exemplars of what can be accomplished by our students. I would like now to recognize our exceptional undergraduate students who are graduating magna cum laude and cum laude, many of whom are recent inductees into the National Architecture, Landscape Architecture, and the Allied Arts Honor Society, Tau Sigma Delta. Will all of our students, undergraduate students graduating magna cum laude and cum laude, please rise and be recognized? You may be seated. Congratulations. I'd also like to recognize our exceptional graduate students whose hard work has resulted in their placement as inductees to the National Architecture, Landscape Architecture, and the Allied Arts Honor Society, Tau Sigma Delta. Will our graduate students who are graduating with the Tau Sigma Delta honor please stand and be recognized? Congratulations. We're also proud to recognize the work of the students who have been selected to receive prestigious awards from the American Institute of Architects. The American Institute of Architects, through its foundation, presents awards to the graduates with the highest academic standing in the professional Bachelor of Architecture degree and Master of Architecture degree. Students, please rise as I call your names. Receiving the AIA certificate with the second highest grade point average are Alicia Lynn Cornelius, John Vincent Romero Hernandez, Maria Joseph Montero Lopez, and Thomas Wynn. Congratulations. The undergraduate and graduate students with the highest grade point average are the recipients of the AIA Medal. Receiving the AIA Medal are Brian Morris Rorlick and Pompavi Mungrung Sakul. Congratulations. All right. The Alpha Rho Chi Medal is awarded to the student who has shown ability for leadership, performed willing service to his or her school, and has promise of real professional merit through his or her attitude and personality. Receiving the Alpha Rho Chi Medal are Andy Chow and Nicholas George Mcmillan. Congratulations. The Tau Sigma Delta Medal is given in recognition of outstanding architecture design as selected by the student members of Tau Sigma Delta. This award goes to Alicia Lynn Cornelius and Jose Alejandro Medina. Congratulations. I would now like to call upon Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Professor Vittoria De Palma, to recognize undergraduate and graduate students for their excellence. Vittoria.
The school recognizes the work of our graduating students. The following students have been selected by the undergraduate faculty for excellence. As your name is called, please stand and be recognized and remain standing. Jassy Williams, the Thomas Byards Award for Social Community Focus. Milton Adiel Villatoro, the Raymond S. Kennedy Award for Creative Perspectives. Shui Fei Lin, the Robert Allen Rogoff Award for Delineation. Maria Jose Montero Lopez, the Award for Innovation Through Play. Deborah Jane Dowd O'Connell, the Crafting Vision Award. Ian James Fitzpatrick, the Design Tactics Award. Alexander Stephen Weisfeld, the Digifab Merit Award. Shansin Eril Mais, the Innovation in Materials and Fabrication Award. Brian Morris Rorlick, the Overall Studio Design Award. Sarah Abdul-Jawad, the Bachelor of Science, Architectural Studies Outstanding Research Project Award. And the Honor Society of Phi Kappa Phi Honor Initiate is Maria Jose Montero Lopez. Congratulations to everyone. The following students have been selected by the graduate faculty to receive awards. As your name is called, please stand to be recognized. Alicia Lynn Cornelius, the Outstanding Directed Design Research and Innovation Award. John Charles Stewart Kastner and Nicholas George Mcmillan, the Outstanding Directed Design Research Mastery Award. Jia Lin Wen, the Master of Advanced Architectural Studies Director's Award. Kyung-Suk Lee and Kushnav Roy, the Master of Building Science Outstanding Thesis Award. Michael Grauer, the Arc King Medal. Andrea Lorraine Dumovich, the Master of Heritage Conservation Outstanding Thesis Award. Tiffany Grace Swift, the Master of Landscape Architecture and Urbanism Outstanding Final Thesis Design Research Award. The Southern California chapter of the American Society of Landscape Architects Honor and Merit nominees are Hollis Brashear and June Sun. And finally, the Landscape Architecture Foundation's University Olmsted Scholar and national finalist is Rachel Kiyomi Eisen. And now the Dean will introduce our keynote speaker, Dean Curry.
Thank you, Associate Dean DePalma. It's now my honor to introduce this year's keynote speaker. In his last column as the Los Angeles Times architecture critic, Chris Hawthorne said the following, quote, "As the architecture critic for the Times since 2004, I've filed stories from Japan, Colombia, Portugal, and the United Arab Emirates, among other spots around the globe. But I think it's fair to say that the main and animating subject of my work has been Los Angeles itself. and the major civic transformation that's underway here. It's precisely the scale of that transformation. How much hangs in the balance as LA tries to establish a coherent post-suburban identity and deal with the severe housing and homelessness crisis and the specter of climate change, among other challenges, that explains why I've decided to leave after nearly 14 years, end quote. In his new role as Chief Design Officer for the City of Los Angeles, Chris's responsibilities are to provide a unified design vision to projects that are shaping the Los Angeles urban landscape and collaborating with city officials, departments, and architects on a wide range of public projects, including housing, parks, and public transit. There probably isn't any other person in Los Angeles who is better qualified to pursue this work. Chris is a professor of practice at Occidental College, where since 2015, he has directed the third Los Angeles Project, a series of public conversations about architecture, urban planning, mobility, and demographic change in Southern California. He has also taught at UC Berkeley, the Graduate School of Journalism, Columbia University, and the Southern California Institute of Architecture. Chris grew up in Berkeley and earned a bachelor's degree with honors from Yale, where he studied political science and architectural history. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Christopher Hawthorne.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dean Curry, for that fantastic introduction. What Dean Curry did not tell me when he invited me to give remarks this morning was that I would be competing over at Annenberg with Oprah Winfrey. Thanks a lot. You get a degree in it. You get a degree. You get it. That's the end of my Oprah-tation. What a tremendous honor, though, to be the keynote speaker at the first graduation ceremony presided over by your terrific new dean. And thank you to everyone here at USC School of Architecture for this invitation to say a few words on this day full of celebration and promise. And I also want to say it's really encouraging for me in my new post at City Hall working for Mayor Garcetti to know that at USC we have a dean who will be a real ally in my new work, trying to think about giving a more coherent shape to the public realm in Los Angeles. So look forward to working collaboratively with the dean and with this school for many years to come. In my old life, which Dean Curry mentioned briefly as the architecture critic for the Los Angeles Times, one of the best pieces of advice I got as the era of digital journalism progressed was a direct four-word admonition delivered for maximum impact in all capital letters: never read the comments. Why not? Because especially in the days when comment sections were entirely anonymous, a kind of unshackled free-for-all, they were a place where aggressively ignorant and ad hominem attacks on writers often lurked. You could emerge from a simple spin through the comment section of a piece you considered perfectly innocuous when you began writing it, feeling bruised if not entirely vilified. And yet I, like most of my journalistic colleagues, continued, at least irregularly, to descend into that world of free-flowing id. The same goes for my replies on Twitter. You could pretend that you weren't going to read your mentions or stop reading them for a time in the name of mental health, but you always returned to them in the end. And it was there on Twitter in response to the Times essay I wrote, from which Dean Curry quoted a couple of minutes ago in mid-March, announcing that I would be leaving my post as critic to take a newly created position in City Hall as Chief Design Officer for the City of Los Angeles, that I discovered a comment that has been on my mind ever since. Though I'll be tackling a range of projects I wrote in that farewell essay, my work for Mayor Garcetti will have a clear central focus: the public realm. It's a caricature, I went on to write, that Los Angeles has never valued the design of its public spaces, or even worse, that it has none. It is true, however, that in the decades following World War II, Los Angeles, like many American cities, pursued a new and largely privatized kind of urbanism dependent on both the freeway and the single-family house, while increasingly neglecting its public side, unquote. Sounds innocent and reasonable enough, right? You might think so had you not spent as much time in comment sections or on Twitter as I have. In those places, there is always a contrarian waiting to pounce. But in this case, it was really a thoughtful one, one who really challenged me to think about that piece. In this case, it was an academic, formerly of USC, but to remain nameless this morning, who took issue with my use of the term public space. Richard Sennett, already in the 1970s, wrote eloquently of the demise of public space and the fall of public man, this person tweeted. And even the expression public space has seemed anachronistic for decades. So perhaps the discourse needs to be redesigned too? Perhaps not. My well-read, if deeply misguided Twitter antagonist, perhaps not. And here's why not. When there is language that brings us together, just as when there are spaces that bring us together, we should embrace it. Anyone who has taken part in the recent women's marches in downtown Los Angeles or Ciclavia over the years and recent years in LA will understand what I mean. And indeed, Richard Sennett's work on urban form and civic life, which I first encountered in an undergraduate seminar at Yale a quarter century ago and still find tremendously useful, is itself an argument for this point of view. The way we design and build public space is what needs rethinking, to be sure. But both the phrase public space and the idea undergirding it, the idea that the places where we come together on literal common ground also help produce civic common ground, have a history that it would be foolish to toss away in the name of academic fashion, especially at this moment of extreme political and social division in this country. What my experience at the Los Angeles Times taught me, and what my brief tenure in City Hall has already confirmed, is this. Architects, even architecture students, who develop the ability to express themselves clearly and forcefully and elegantly, not just to fellow architects, but to clients, to regulatory agencies, to city bodies, and to a larger public, are the ones who will have a leg up in this profession. And ultimately, I would argue, the ones who will do the work that matters. Many of your classmates will be whizzes in using various digital design tools and likely already are. There's no shortage of that kind of architect. In my experience, though, comparatively few architects, on the other hand, have the ability to walk into a neighborhood council meeting in the heart of the slow-growth West Side and explain why their design for a new affordable housing project is not a threat, but rather a boon to that community. Even fewer can explain in persuasive, even moving terms, how their work as architects promises not to exacerbate the divides of wealth, privilege, class, and race in this city, but begin to close those gaps. The effort to do so begins with an effort to safeguard and expand our collective language and collective spaces, and in fact to think of them as one and the same. Here's why this matters for Los Angeles in 2018, and for all of you as graduates of the 2018 graduates of the USC School of Architecture, because this city, which spent so much of the 20th century turning its back on the public realm, is now actively embracing and trying to reanimate its civic spaces. And those of you who go off to work in other cities will likely find similar dynamics at play. This emerging and more public-minded Los Angeles is largely paid for, remarkably enough, or at least we've already agreed on how we're going to pay for it. Thanks to the transit sales tax hikes of Measure R and Measure M, and to the various bond measures we've approved to pay for new parks and new housing at the city and the county level, we'll be spending something on the order of $200 billion, with a B, to usher it into existence. If its financing is largely assured, however, this nascent Los Angeles remains almost entirely undesigned. Its contours are so far infrastructural, political, or even purely notional, as opposed to architectural or urban. And I'm sure you see what this means for you and your fellow graduates. It means that designing this new Los Angeles will fall to you. The architecture of LA's new metro stations, parks, affordable housing complexes, eventually its new skyscrapers, will be, for some, and perhaps many of you, work by which to measure a career. And we need you. I say that from City Hall in my new position. Truly, we need you in this city. And what a moment to be launching that kind of career. Along with an investment in public transit unprecedented in American urban history, and a homelessness and housing affordability crisis calling out for new solutions. Los Angeles is reimagining its river, wrapped in concrete as a flood control measure nearly a century ago. It is anticipating the arrival of the 2028 Summer Olympics. And that's not all. It's no exaggeration to say that the very air above our heads and the ground beneath our feet is up for grabs in Los Angeles as well. From a gondola to Dodger Stadium to the so-called eVTOL flying taxi service, that's short for electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, as I learned at a conference sponsored by Uber earlier this week. From a potential train and car tunnel beneath the Sepulveda Pass to Elon Musk's own plan for tunnels under Los Angeles, from new granny flats in Angelino's backyards to a brand new skyline, this city will need to be planned, designed, and built in a dizzying new variety of ways that will rely in fundamental terms on the particular expertise that belongs to architects and landscape architects and to you alone. There will be challenges too, no doubt. Many Angelinos are suspicious about what investment in public spaces, transit networks, and new architecture will mean for their neighborhoods, and they have good reason to be. Over many decades, they have watched architects and planners in the name of modernism or urban renewal or some other academically sanctioned movement remake their communities in a way that not only didn't reflect, but sometimes bulldozed their values. They're rightly concerned about what new housing, new bike lanes, even new green spaces will mean for their neighborhoods and whether they will lead to displacement or a disfigurement of what brought them to settle there in the first place. In my farewell essay at the Times, I mentioned a woman I greatly admired, Tameka Butler, who once ran the Los Angeles County Bike Coalition and is now executive director of the Los Angeles office of the Neighborhood Land Trust. As she explains that her work often means balancing the mission of the Land Trust to bring new parks to park-poor neighborhoods, of which we have a remarkable number in Los Angeles, and the needs of an underserved community as that community itself understands and articulates those needs. And if that means a park is the last thing that makes sense, so be it. She makes a point of hearing and understanding that message. No longer does a top-down, paternalistic approach of remaking cities offer a model of anything except what to avoid. At the same time, community involvement in architecture and planning can sometimes tip over into protecting an unequal status quo. Such has often been the case when it comes to the production of housing in Los Angeles. The truth is that we have systematically underbuilt housing across most of the region for more than 3 decades, which is one reason we now face that crisis of homelessness and housing affordability that I mentioned. We need a conversation about housing that you're at the center of, that is expansive enough, equitable enough, to include not just homeowners, but those of us facing housing insecurity, those who work 2 jobs and raise kids and can't make it to that neighborhood council meeting. And just as important, those fellow Angelinos to come, the future residents at all income levels from all parts of the world, whom we will need to make room for and house if we want to continue to be a dynamic city, as opposed to one banking on past glories or pricing out a growing share of residents and would-be residents. To succeed as an architect in this new Los Angeles, this city of change and opportunity, this city of anxiety hedging into distrust, will require stepping out from behind the computer screen and confronting these issues head on. It will require understanding not just the desires of wealthy clients and tech companies that hope to remake the city in their image, but the various communities that carry with them significant doubts about this transformation. It will require skills that owe as much to diplomacy as to design per se. I am confident that you will be able to take on this great challenge and prevail, because you have received your education here at USC, where faculty and your new dean have made these issues a career-long focus. Because, importantly, as young people, you swim in a culture where these themes and ideas, where empathy and an understanding of difference, where critiques of power and the abuse of power are discussed much more openly and with much greater passion and nuance than when I was in school a quarter century ago. And because you have been studying here in Los Angeles, a city that, for all its imperfections, has the great benefit of being both more innovative and more tolerant of difference than any other American city I can think of. So go out into that city or wherever you wind up and be bold. Bold enough to do pathfinding, fearless, and truly original work. Bold enough to take the reins of a profession that needs new blood, new diversity, new roles for women and architects of color, new designs for a new understanding of equity and access. Desperately needs those things, in fact. And bold enough to realize that the public realm is not some dusty anachronism, but the very definition in the Los Angeles of 2018 of opportunity, a proving ground for a new generation of architects. So to the class of 2018, my warmest congratulations to all of you on this happiest of days. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Another round of applause for our keynote speaker. Thank you for those inspiring remarks, and USC Architecture looks forward to collaborating with you and the city, make this city even greater. I want to move on now to some moments we've all been waiting for, the presentation of our graduates. It's now time to present all of the graduating students of the School of Architecture. And I'd like to call upon our academic program directors to present the degree candidates from their respective programs, beginning with undergraduate program director Hadrian Pradock, who will present the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in architecture. I will ask Marshals Page, Huang, Steve Lucetta of the Guild, and Chris Martin of the Board of Counselors to assist in this process. Professor Pradock.
Okay, before I start the names, there are some very specific rules about photography, and there are some legalese that I'm required to read before we begin. This is a very special time for each individual graduate. As each director calls out the names, please come forward to receive your diploma. We realize that friends and loved ones would like to take photos of this event. We would only ask that you notice the alphabetical sequence as listed in the program, and at the appropriate time, stand up from your seat to take your photo, or exit stage right and follow the fence to where the graduates come off the stage. And take photos over there, please. Please stay on the outside of the fence for your photos and then return to your seats. Please do not move up or stand in the aisles as it is not allowed for safety reasons and also blocks the views of others. Okay, done with that. Thank you. All right, let's have some fun now. Everybody ready? Okay. It is with great pleasure I present the degree candidates for the Bachelor of Architecture. Daryl Agbayani. Alexandra Arias. Soham Bagaria. Han Bao. Allison Villanueva Bautista. Mark Beskin. May Bainin. Nicole D. Blue. Amy Brar. Seha. Jason Champlain. Joseph Chang. Congratulations. Andy Chow. Ray Chen. Victoria Cuenca. Maxwell Charissa Jakasaputra. Alexander Grabowski. Qingyi Duanmu. Jennifer Dubowitz. Nikolai Elganayan. Shanson Ariel Mas. Ian James Fitzpatrick. Yuan Gao. Luis Garcia. Nancy Yvonne Garcia. Charlotte Marie Garrett. Laura Michelle Gehring. Inez Maria Gill. Christina Gomez. Sarah Corcor Hammond. Manchi Hua. John Vincent Romero Hernandez. Yaning Hu. Max Jakowitz. Yongyi Wayne Ji. Isha Riza Khan. Diana Potemskaya. Napat Kiat Arpadej. Daniel Kim. Stacy Sangmi Koo. Dat Phil Jha. Po Shreng Lao. Daniel C. Lee. Maggie Garyan Lee. Samantha Lee. Gen Lee. Shui Fei Lin. Ricky Lowe. Anthony Torres Lopez. Alejandro Medina Bickford. Maria Jose Montero. Din Nguyen. Deborah Jane Dowd O'Connell. Belinda Pack. Brian Morris Rorlick. Congratulations. Erica Ruan. Jonah Goodglick Schatz. Gabriella Lois Schweitzer. Afshin Shidanshidi. Angela Anna Schnezinski. Alexa Andrea Solomon. Mariuska Stepanka. Mark Andrew Storwick. Yatsuburo Tanaka. Jeffrey Tao. Menghong Tun. Ansh Vakil. Milton Adiel Villatoro. Emma Margaret Wampold. Shinru Wei. Alexander Stephen Weisfeld. Sinya Wen. Jossie Amos Williams. Ryan Wong. Kwang Yu Shang. Catherine Xiang. PJ Yang. Bo-Win Chang. Mengdi Jia. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the degree candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Architectural Studies. Sarah Abdul Jawad. Yayun Lucy Chang. Yuran Fu. Sarah Catherine Greenwood. Cynthia Liang. Anna J. Lim. Shu Sophia Tsai. Congratulations to everyone. Now please welcome the Director of the Graduate Architecture Programs, Professor of Practice in Architecture, Wes Jones, to announce the candidates for the Master of Advanced Architectural Studies and Master of Architecture degrees.
It is with great pleasure that I present to you the degree candidates for the Master of Advanced Architectural Studies. Pimentel. Jen Ye Shi. John Chin Soon. Jia Lin Wen. Fenghua Xie. And now it is also with great pleasure that I present to you the degree candidates for the Master of Architecture. Rabea Alvi. Monica Arya Nanda. Kayla Baltus. Matthew Richard Boswick. Kezia Chai. Shiran Kai. Eric Castillo. Annie Chan. Ashley Chang. John Chen. Min Ray Chen. Rui Peng Chen. Chun Wan Wei. Alicia Cornelius. Di Tsui. Ray Shin Tsui. Scott Robert DeCesar. Zhe Yuan Duan. Noor Farah. Angelica Hong. Christy Xiao. Shanang Ho. Dionisio Ichilumpa. Ray Shai Ji. Zhao Shang Jiang. Chandu Chowdhury Kandra. Laura Elizabeth Kapp. Margot Kleinman. Justin Lee. Li Ting Young. Benjamin Lin. Yvonne Lam. Danyang Liu. Gui Chi Liu. Su Ching Liu. Yan Liu. Iji Liu. I Ching Liu. Rafael Lopez. Lei Chi Liu. Tengwan Ma. Yue Ma. Amir Mahmoud Malik. Jennifer Catherine Marenka Robles. Nicholas George Mcmillan. Ting Ting Meng. Nahal Mutashemi. Pompavi Mangrang Sakul. Li Pan. Cheng Chian. Chun Kerr. Enrique Rubalcaba. Liane Ruiz. Jade Sabatino. Kevin Shapiro. Min Ki Chen. Jack Stewart Kastner. Morgan Camille Sumner. Jaden Sun. Seeming Swen. Samarth Sayal. Chi Tang. Alexandra Thermopoulos. Michael Tooby. Thanks. An Vo. Gayao Wang. Lifang Wang. Qi Wang. Yilin Wang. Yun Wang. Thomas Wen. Fan Wu. Ifu Wu. Imin Wu. Minfeng Xia. Yan Jia. Daoxin Xing. Cecilia Yan. Zihe Yang. Ziyi Yang. Lydia Yen. Chen Yu. Xian Jie Yang. Zhang. Shishi Zhu. Ya Chu Shi. Now I'd like you to please welcome Professor Mark Schiller, Master of Building Science faculty, to announce the candidates for that degree.
It is with great pleasure that I present to you the degree candidates for the Master of Building Science. Li Chen, Legend Chen. Tian Chen. Noah Avery Cherner. Kenya Collins. Lu Huang. Debjit Kundu. Kyungsuk Lee. Xiaoxin Lin. Kunyo Liu. Luo Ling. Gelly Q. Kushnav Roy. Santosh Kumar. Sirala Selvan. Zhan Yang. Lingyan Yu. Please welcome Associate Professor of Practice Trudy Sandmeyer, Director of the Heritage Conservation Program, to announce the candidates for that degree.
with great pleasure that I present to you the ladies and the degree candidates for the Master of Heritage Conservation. Deepika Dhaliwal. Andrea Lorraine Dumovich. Camille Aura Nicole Elston. Rosemary Lemley Hilb. Liangdi Shi. Rachel Elizabeth Trombetta. Paylin Wu. Please welcome Associate Professor of Practice Esther Margulies, Interim Director of the Landscape Architecture Program, to announce the candidates for that degree.
Dean Curry, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the Master of Landscape Architecture degree recipients, designers of the public realm. Hollis Brashear. Raymond Gonzalez. Zeming Gu. Rachel Eisen. Yuk Liu. Xiao Lu. Zhao Ni. Jade Orr. Xiaoyi Ren. Jun Sun. Tiffany Swift. Peter Woodley. Dayu Zhuang. Thank you, Dean Curry.
Thank you, Professors Pradock, Schiller, Jones, Sandmeyer, Margulies. Congratulations to our graduates. On behalf of the school, we invite all of you to join us at a reception following this ceremony at the Watt Hall courtyard of the School of Architecture. Exhibits of student works are on display around the school. Follow the students and our platform party there immediately following the ceremony. A few parting words before we disperse. Graduates, take a moment to look around you. Here and at the reception to follow will be some of the few remaining moments that you as a class will share together. Cherish these moments. You've taken a very important step towards a bright future. I hope that you will keep in touch with us, continue to engage the school and its efforts as alumni, and inspire others that you meet along your journey to aspire to the accomplishments and impact that you've made and that you will continue to make in the coming years. Will all graduates please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the School of Architecture of the University of Southern California, class of 2018. please be seated. Everybody's okay? Okay. Will all parents, grandparents, and guardians of the graduates please rise? Will all family, spouses, partners, supporters, and loved ones please rise? Graduates, please rise and give a round of applause to the people who are supporting you, have supported you, and will continue to support you. Please be seated. As we close these commencement ceremonies, we ask that all students and guests stay in their seats until the platform party and faculty have left the stage. Class of 2018, congratulations and fight on.